Māori Soldiers Fund can trace its origins to 1915 to Lady Liverpool and Media Pōmari, who set up a fund for the benefit of Māori soldiers. That same year, Tāpiranga Ngata joined with them. HEREHERE TAU was one of 3 stations on Tairāwhiti that was acquired for the purposes of supporting Māori soldiers' welfare. HEREHERE TAU was the farm that was bought by the Māori trustee in 1953. The Māori Soldiers Trust Act was enacted in 1958, and that set up a general fund, a scholarship fund, which we know as Tāpiranga Ngata Memorial Scholarship, and the Soldiers Fund. The scholarship fund was for higher education of Māori, and the scholarships are provided from revenue generated by HEREHERE TAU station.
The range of the scholarships is really between $1,000 to up to $3,000 per scholarship, to the effect that we've awarded over sort of $500,000 in the last 5 years. One of the aims is to amend the criteria of the scholarships to really tie it back to the whenua. Things like advanced study in climate change, study in farming and agricultural advancement, I think are becoming more and more important.
Because this land was originally owned by our tipuna, I saw it as an opportunity to be involved with HEREHERE TAU. I guess there was always a thought that one day we would get the land back.
In 2009, we were lucky enough to be one of the 3 finalists. We were running 17,500 stock units, farming 1,800 hectares. So today we've had a few game changes. The first one being in 2010 when we went down to Whakakī and purchased 202 hectares of freehold land and attracted 303 hectares of leasehold land. And that allowed us to fatten all our stock. The second game changer was in 2013. We employed one Dick Finney, who came to the station with heaps of energy.
We run from the ocean right out to the back into the forestry country, into the native, and so you got the main road that runs through the middle of us. That's a huge challenge for us. It's the terrain up here. We use horseback up here. 27,000 stock units mixed up of beef and sheep. We're a 55-45 ratio in favour of sheep, so it's a lot of work. Right from when I first started managing, I've always had young shepherds. A bit of a rolling sub sort of a system. The oldest fella employs the next fella. They come in here knowing it's a 2-year job, the end goal is in sight, okay, and then they just move off from here.
Since we've come down to Whakakī in 2010, we know it's a very fragile country, hugely valuable to us during the winter months for cattle and sheep wintering.
Kei te tū whakahihi o tātou tipu. Kei te tū whakahihi a Whakakī. Ka puta mai te nuinga o koutou. Ki te tautoko. Ai tēnei mai.
We also have a wide range of climates, which can be tricky at different times of the year, but it's also a strength for us. If it's a really wet winter, we have lighter soils down at the coast that we can use properly. If it's a really hot, dry summer, we're up in the hills because it stays a little bit green a little bit longer.
We've got various soil types scattered right through the station, from ash country to blue papa country on our northerly slopes and behind you, and some clay stuff over on the southerly country. So that is our asset.
We've got Ngā Whenua Rahui put in place over there in 2019. Our next project is working our way through fencing off the Tahainui stream. We're about 16 hectares through that. We have another 53 to go. The reality is that financial performance of the station is required to underpin everything we've talked about. And so for us, we're really proud to be able to put that number up there and to show the progress we've made.
The judges were impressed with the encouraging and nurturing influence the manager of HEREHERE TAU has on his staff. The whānau-orientated system breeds confidence by encouraging everybody to participate in everything they do. The cat's cry Don't try to be average, you'll end up average. Be the best at everything you can do. Echoes across the property to the benefit of HEREHERE TAU and the wider community.